What happens when Ketu and Mercury are in the same house? In this video, I will be discussing about the conjunction of Mercury and Ketu. Hello friends, my name is Hardik and you're watching my astrological channel on YouTube called Astro. So let's start. Now before I come to the video of the conjunction of Ketu and Mercury, I have a small request to make. Please do subscribe to my channel and share my video if you like it. That will give me a lot of encouragement. So what exactly is Mercury? As I've already explained you, this is the last video of the conjunction of Mercury series. Now what exactly is Mercury? Mercury is your intelligence. Mercury is about your nervous system. Mercury is about logical thinking. Mercury is about finance. Mercury is about your communication. Mercury is about analytics. Mercury is about research. So this is what Mercury is. Mercury is a logical, rational planet. Whereas Ketu is basically a spiritual planet. It's similar to Jupiter as far as spirituality is concerned. The difference though is that Jupiter is a benefic planet and Ketu is a malefic planet. So it will take you to spirituality in a very, very difficult way. That's what Ketu is. Now Ketu also is about moksha. Ketu is about losses. Ketu is a headless planet. So Ketu is about imagination in a wrong way. It can also mean sometime hallucination and all those things. So Ketu is about that. Now when Ketu and Mercury are in the same house, they form a conjunction, and as I've already said in my conjunction videos before, that I really consider a conjunction to be powerful if the degree between them is less than 15 degree. Now if Mercury is at 4 degree and Ketu is at 27 degree, or if Ketu is at 3 degree and Mercury is at say 26 degrees or 28 degrees, then though technically it is still a conjunction, the effect of the conjunction will not be very powerful. So like every other conjunction, this conjunction also has good aspect and not so good aspect, right? So let's now consider about the good things that can happen if this conjunction is well placed and if this conjunction is aspected by good planets, right? So one of the things that can happen is that you can do very well in spiritual fields which require some kind of thinking as well, which require some kind of logic as well. For example, in Ayurveda, in astrology, in healing, you can do well in those practices, because what happens is that Ketu is a spiritual planet and Mercury brings that analytical thinking, right? So if I want to be an astrologer, it's a higher learning and it talks about celestial bodies and everything, right? You study that, but at the same time you also need to have a sharp mind, intelligence. You need to have a good analytic skills to comprehend this vast subject called astrology, right? So it's important that Ketu and Mercury are placed well in your chart to do well in subjects like this. Now the second thing and the second good aspect of this conjunction can also be that when you are communicating, you are bringing a spiritual angle to it. So what happens is wherever Ketu is placed, it means that in your past life you have already achieved, you have already mastered that particular house. So for example, if it is placed in 5th house, then what happens is that you have already mastered whatever 5th house represents, like children or creativity and other things. You have done pretty well in those areas. Now, so if Mercury is placed there, which means that you have also mastered analytics, communications, and things like that. You have already done well. Now the problem with though is, because you have mastered this, so you don't want to take very seriously in this birth. So that can be a problem. But if it is well placed, if it is aspected by good planets, then what happens is that whenever you're communicating or whenever you are into Mercury related thing, you will see things coming to you much easier. Things coming to you easily because Ketu is there, which represents your past life, the things you have mastered in your past life. So that's the good thing about this conjunction. The third thing is that you can be a good writer in spiritual subjects, because Mercury is also about communication. So you can be a good writer. You may communicate things around spirituality. You may write great books on spirituality or astrology or Ayurveda and things like that. So that's the third thing which can happen with this. So these are the good things which can happen with this conjunction. Now, this is an interesting conjunction. So though if it is well placed, it can give you great results. If it is not well placed, it can create a lot of difficulties in your life as well. Because Ketu is a difficult planet, Ketu is a malefic planet. If it is not well placed and if it is aspected by other functional malefic planets, then what happens is that your communication may get hampered. Your communication may not have a direction, because Ketu is a headless planet. Ketu is a directionless planet. So what happens is that you will struggle with your communication. You will struggle with what you're trying to speak. You will go all haywire. So that is something you need to take care of. Now, the second thing that can happen is that your nervous system can get really hampered. So what happens is that you can have anxiety issue. You can have issues related to fear. You may be a fearful person. You may get scared. All those phobia which comes around, right? If you go for a public speaking, you may get scared, or some other kind of phobias, depending on wherever house it is placed. And if it is not well placed in that particular house or aspected by cruel planets, then this is also a possibility. Also, with a Mercury and Ketu conjunction, like your communication, the other fields, like if you're into finance, which is a Mercury related thing, or about analytics and things like that, because Ketu is a directionless planet, Ketu doesn't have a head, and Ketu is not a logical planet. It's completely opposite to that. Your logic, your analytics, your research skills, your finance skills, whatever field you are in, you may struggle. So Mercury and Ketu is an interesting conjunction. If it is well placed, it can give you some great results. But if it is not very well placed, if it is afflicted, then you may face with some challenges as well. So right guys, that's about this video. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any queries, if you have any feedback that you want to give it to me, you can mention in the comment box. Whenever I get time, I will try and reply to those comments. Please do subscribe to my channel and share the video if you like it. Thank you, take care, and bye-bye.